Hey, it's me, the Adept. Let's see, how obnoxious is that? Not terribly, I don't think. I hope. All right. Like it says, this is the M1 V5. This is the TMR version, so it has a more advanced Hall effect sensor in it. We're going to be unboxing it today, taking a look at the out-of-the-box experience, and then we'll go ahead and mod it with different switches. This keyboard features what Monsgeek is calling their MagMech, which allows it to mix and match Hall effect switches along with regular mechanical switches. So we're going to be putting that to the test as well. And let's see, where's your configurator? We're also going to be taking a look at the configurator, because one of the most important things about mechanical keyboards with Hall effect is its ability to work with their software, which if their software sucks, then, well, that just isn't great. Oh, that's not it. Captures the wrong window. There we go. Done. Take a look at that later. We're also going to look at some other Hall effect keyboards that I have, and take a look at their software as well. So we'll deal with that when that gets here. So with that, let's get to the unboxing. So after you pull off the outer sleeve, there's the inner box. There has been some damage in shipping, but not really much. It survived pretty well. And then there is this slip with the Monsgeek logo on it. We'll keep that for posterity's sake. Foam. A plastic keyboard cover, if one were to appreciate such things. And the keyboard itself, which we'll set aside for the moment. This is the about the switching between different modes, and it's mostly in Chinese. Yeah, there's a mix. It does both. Okay. We'll figure that out, but we'll keep that on the side just in case. And then our box. Let's put this to the side. and see what it comes with. I'm gonna guess a cable, the dongle, keycap, and switch puller. Keycap and switch puller, cable, and dongle. Hey, look, I called that. Put these to the side. Bring out our keyboard. The hero of the show. So this is the fully built keyboard. It comes with Monsgeek's own glare switches, which look like they're probably Otimu, however that's said. And then, let's see. That comes off. There we go. So this is a side printed legends on this keyboard. Let's do an initial sound test. So, not super great. Let's see. We'll use my other. So they are double shot, shine through PBT keycaps that come with it. And hey, look, I got a caliper. So yeah. So it's a 1.3 millimeter thickness. Let's measure it somewhere else just in case. It's about 1.4 depending on where you're measuring. I am not a big fan of shine through keycaps. I think they sound usually like hot garbage. But that is just me. As you saw, there is per key RGB, which would be required for this kind of side legend keyboard. It has a knob, a big knob. More importantly, or not more importantly, but it has the ball catch system. So you can pop it apart. Let's take a look. All right, so let's give you a view carefully. So you can see there's a ribbon cable going here. There is two JST connectors connecting it to the bottom. There are silicone gaskets that attach in a very similar fashion to the some of the other keyboards that we've seen recently. But I mean, this is a much softer silicone than the previous Monsgeek gaskets, so that's a welcome change. There is, with the case open, there's a decent amount of flex. Kind of. We could put this back on. Maybe we'll take it apart again later, depending on. That didn't go on very well. Let's take a look. Make sure everything is seated properly. Looks like these gaskets exactly fit in these grooves. So, and it looks like the nut pad itself has no gasket. So, there is a gasket on the spacebar, sort of more towards the end here, as you can see, which could cause some issues, but and then there is silicone bumpers screwed into the corners, which should theoretically act as sort of a force brake, but it just goes together weird. It's nice. We'll put this back in for now. I assume this will make it work better with its cable. Let's see if its cable fits in. No. Even its own cable doesn't really fit like it does that. I guess I could do that on the other side. Let's see. Can I do that? Let's experiment, shall we? I can. That's fun. There. Sort of. Except for now it doesn't fit into the hole. That's fun. Anyway. It's supposed to stop you from missing and damaging the metal around the edge. Hey, what's going on? So this is it. I've opened it. There wasn't much in the box aside. There was the dongle for 2.4, cable, and the usual Monsgeek Akko keycap and switch puller. This is mine. I already have it because I own tons of Monsgeek Akko stuff. Excuse me. I should take a drink. That is my thing to take a drink. Not sponsored by Coke Zero, but hey, if they want to sponsor me, I'll take it. So the it's just a straight up wedge with the usual Monsgeek branding on the back. You can see it sits flush because it's got the ball catch system. There is this, which came with this on the back, but that is pretty useless and probably will just get removed because it's stupid. Let's check the front height. I like the fact that it just rests like this. I got a digital caliper. Let me show that off some more. A front height of 20.5 millimeters. Let's see, is that about 20 really? It's about 20 millimeters. I started to hit it at part of the incline. So about 20 millimeter front height. People ever care about the back? butt height. .32mm butt height. That's and in case you didn't hear, this is the glare switches that came stock in it. So, not that great sounding. I mean, I've heard worse. I've heard better. We are, of course, going to try some other things. I just wanted to kind of show you the comparison between this and the original. This is the M1W that we have here. Ignore the blemishes. I kind of manhandle this thing, but very similar. I replaced the knob with an aftermarket one that I got off at Amazon. These are DCX Sapphire. I think we have, yes, Royal Kluge Rainy Mist V2s are in here right now. Now, the funny thing is that we can take our... Uh-oh, I'll find you later. Take these out. And take out a couple of these glares. And we'll take a look at those in a second. And these just pop in, theoretically. There we go. And then we're gonna try these are Geon RAWs. Which I'm going to have such a problem removing later. So, I would say as far as Hall effect switches go, this is going to be more on the, thankfully, on the thocky side. We'll just call it the deeper side. We'll just call it the good side. Oh, hey, look at that. I am not going to be able to pull this apart because this uses wings. Who knew? I didn't even know that was still a thing. I don't know where my wing opener went. It was on my desk somewhere. Yeah. No, that's a big negatory, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. But, right? Wing latch, who knew? But We might try lubing these, probably not on stream today. Let's try some non-crappy keycaps real quick. We're actually going to be replacing the keycaps on here today with some XVX keycaps that I got that I'm looking forward to using on here. And so this is the glare switches. This is the Geon RAWs. And this is the RK Rainy Mist. Funnily enough, we're probably not going to use any of these switches in the final build we're going to do today, as we are actually going to be using the AEBoards Raeds on here for everything but the function row. In the function row, we're going to try to use Y3 switches, which I guess we can drop a couple of those in there and just see how it starts on this baseline. Grab a couple of these. Now, one of the bad things about using Y3 switches is obviously it's going to kill our RGB. For most people, that's not that big a deal. Right? That's what I was saying, man. When things sound bad, just go silent. I mean, if I filled up the board with Y3 switches, then it would sound great, but then it wouldn't have Hall effect. So let's go ahead and what do you say we build this bad boy out after I get those Geon RAWs out of here, because it's always such a pain. Here. Now, just to compare, also I wanted to do a comparison to some other all of the new Akko TMR keyboards are standard wooting compatible. Hey, the End of Greatness. Thanks for joining me. Our standard routing switch compatible. So yes, you will be able to use your Geon RAWs. You'll be able to use your previous models are South Pole. The new ones are North Pole facing. So that's a new thing. Also, their things like their new switch, the Astral Link, is a North Pole switch. So that will be a new switch collab between Akko and HMX. And so I imagine that is going to be a clacky switch. Yeah, and when you think about, like, this is nice because it's 75% and it's for me anyway, which means that I get to get my arrow cluster. But you can get the Fun 60 Ultra, which is also TMR. It's 60%. Funny. Yeah, dude. It's all about the South Pole, yo. Or no, it's all about the North Pole, yo. So let's take a look at a couple of other Hall Effect keyboards. Ignore that. This is, obviously, the Boog 75 by Melitrix, which is somewhat... Hey man, how's it going, Plastic Bits? Thanks for joining me. This is the Boog 75, and so this is stock for it. Let's pause the music a little bit, because this is the way Boog, and you know, obviously the way I'm going to eventually fix the sound problem on the Hall Effect keyboard is, of course, by making it pretty silent. I mean, it's a quiet board. It's filled like with Melitrix foam, so you can tell the big difference in the builds. Between these two, and then the last keyboard that I was going to show a quick comparison with before we get to the rebuild and the software is the is one that's been slightly modified, and that is this. This is the Keychron Q5, so gigantic. These are die-sub PBT keep caps on it. Come here, you. Okay. It's a lot of keyboard. So this keyboard has Gateron Mini E switches in it, but they have been stem swapped with the Gateron Nebula switches that came stock in order for it to be compatible with this keyboard. So it's important to know that if you want to get the Q series Keychron, that you can get Mini E, so you can have a solid bottom switch and make it work with the stock switches. But yeah, it would be nice if they stuck to one one standard, if they standardized. But yeah, these are the Gaterons that are compatible, well, that I've made compatible with this keyboard. So kind of clacky, but really it's a very solid sound. You don't get hardly any spring ping, so not bad as opposed to this. I could bring back in the Freya hair. All in all, I'd say that the initial sound for this keyboard is something I would qualify to be on the lower end of what most people would enjoy. There's a lot of rattle, and already has cat hair on it. You're welcome, keyboard. And I think that other companies are fighting it. I think that the Wooting Standard, the North Pole, is going to win out eventually. But, I mean, Drunk Deer, their thing is that, I mean, they came really early on. I don't know how early exactly, but the Drunk Deer Hall Effect keyboard was one of the very first ones after Wooting, before this whole thing kind of took off. Go over there. So with that, I know y'all have been waiting. Let's go ahead and drop a couple of AEBoards Raeds in here. I'm actually probably going to, like I said, lube the glare switches and then try them again. So these are the AEBoards Raeds. They are a rubber dome Hall Effect switch. I did already confirm compatibility with this keyboard. So we're going to drop a couple of these in here. And like that. Hopefully I got it in right. Guess we'll find out in a little while. Again, one thing to note is that if you're using the AEBoards switches in this keyboard, say goodbye to your RGB, because obviously there's no RGB coming out of that square thing. So using it with the Y3s is not going to be that big a deal. So on Hall Effect, it uses a magnetic sensor, this magnet right here, and then there's a sensor on the bottom of the PCB, which we can take a look at real quick. I'm just going to flip this bad boy up. So, actually, yeah, because I don't want to take apart another keyboard. You can't really tell, but right here there is a little sensor that is the Hall Effect sensor for the keyboard. Yeah. So the orientation of the magnet is important for its function. And the problem is that different companies have decided to either use, like Ore said, either, hey, DNA, have used either North Pole oriented magnets, where the North Pole is oriented down towards the keyboard, or South Pole oriented magnets. Then there's Drunk Deer that uses side, like they're mounted sideways. And depending on which one, the switches for that keyboard will not work in keyboards of different types. So if, like on a GMMK Pro or the Keychron or also the Melitrix keyboard, they all use South Pole oriented switches, so you have to get South Pole oriented switches to use in it. I still don't know how to get rid of that person. No. So we're just going to ignore that person. Whatever that person wants to sell you, we don't need it. So there's different reasons why companies have said it. Part of it is really going to be the fact that they want you to buy their switches or get switches from them. Others, I mean, it's partially kind of trying to control the market. Well, here's the nipple. You can see it right here. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I think too. I think that unless there is some change that happens, that they will people will eventually gravitate, like Monsgeek has, towards that standard. Right? Don't report me. Oh, actually, I was going to leave the music off because we still have not shown off. So this is the AEBoards Raeds, and they're probably, hopefully, going to be pretty silent in here. It is. It is a rotary encoder. It does the brightness of the keyboard, and then when you press it, it does volume, but it doesn't do mute. And we're going to look in the software and see if I can change that, because I don't care about the brightness of the keyboard, especially once I put in switches that will not show through light. I'm just going to turn off the lights on this keyboard. All right, I'm in. Let's do it. Just because, you know, ball catch, show it off as much as possible. So here you go. A little bit of the nudes. Not really, just, you know, the PCB. So looking at the PCB real quick, this has the ability to do ISO, but is not set up for ISO. The same goes for the split left shift. It could do a split left shift, but they, which is funny because they're all on the same line. You would actually have to desolder the full left shift to solder in the split, which I've never seen before, because that's new to me. But that is it. There is no other possibility, and even those, you would have to actually do surgery on the board, and I'm not sure, you would probably have to rewrite your own VIA for it. So that's interesting that it could have done these things, but then didn't. Funnily enough, this is probably the loudest that I've ever heard the Raeds. Anyway, here we go. And back to the music. Get that running. All right. So we're going to be putting the Raeds into everything but the function row, and for the function row, we will be using these, the Y3 switches. And then for keycaps, we're going to be using an XVX set of retro return to 1989 is what they call it. Cherry profile keycaps, and I kind of digging it. I think it'll go well with the black, and won't really need backlight. So since we're going to murder the backlight, but let's go ahead and actually once again, let's go ahead and take off the cover, move that out of the way, so that I don't scratch anything. These switches that want to come out, feel free. You're just saving me some trouble. No, I was going to put it on only keys. Of course. Because, you know, it's all about the monthly subscription. Tune in for my next PCB show. Oh, look up the Hyper 7 keyboard. That's the number 7. It's a modern keyboard. It's produced in the UK with like a really... we should re-lube the stabs while I got this thing taken apart. It uses plate-mounted stabs. Once we take off the stabs, we'll see whether or not they will support PCB-mounted stabs. I only have 1.2 millimeter PCB stabs right now, so I'm waiting for some more 1.6s to come in. But so we won't be doing that today, but we can re-lube the ones we got. Yeah, right? Isn't that magnificent? This is your switch to turn on the RGB. Go off. So one of the things about the, at least the Boog 75, is that it actually comes with a case, which I think is nice. I guess I didn't need to do these two, but still I did. Yeah, number pads on each side, 2 function rows. It goes up at an angle. I mean, when you want to go with a retro keyboard, that's that, or the one that you can't get anymore, the model OLED. Yeah, there is the Long Boy. There is a 7-foot keyboard, but I mean, it's mostly, you know, like lip, like there's not like keyboard there on the Long Boy, right? Am I thinking of something else? It's just got like huge bezels on each side. There's the Glarsis giant keyboard, the one that he brought to his office, where it comes apart into 2 pieces. But the model OLED, while it's not super huge, it looks almost exactly like a Model M. and has the unique feature that the PCB bends as part of its actual structure, which I think is kind of really neat. So normally I would be pulling this apart row by row because a lot of my keyboards don't have this is so much nicer than the RAWs, because most of my keyboards use the switches to friction fit to the bottom. Well, there's an actual keyboard that is shaped like that thing that men mostly have. I forget, it's like the Richard keyboard or something. Which is funny. And again, that's just a case that's in that shape with a keyboard, a 60% keyboard in the middle. I mean, there's an ergonomic keyboard today that is similar to that. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Sadwich has one. Somebody help me out here. What's the name of that super ergonomic keyboard? The one where you have to have it fitted, and it's got directional movement for different keys. I can't look it up right now because I have a keyboard almost completely pulled apart. So this does have a silicone in each side here to dampen the sound, as well as plate foam, a PE foam layer for the mechanical switches, and no, there's another one. No, I mean, that might be one, but it's not the one I'm thinking of. Where's Sadwich when I need her? Hold on. Wait, I know how to. I can do it this way. No, that's... Man, we chat a lot. Um, doo-doo. No, I'll find it. I'll put it in chat later on. You don't have to watch me scroll for a little bit. I know Hippio did a video on it too. So interesting, this has a polycarbonate plate. Most Hall effect boards will have a aluminum, steel, or other hard metal plate to improve rigidity, to make it more restrictive for the switches or for the sensors. They might have done this because it uses mechanical as well as Hall effect. Now this could be a long-term issue because we use if we use reds, because the reds, as opposed to the glares have the guides at the bottom, the 2 pins, whereas the reds obviously don't. So my reasoning for using reds in the main board and then using the Y3s in the functions is so that we will have an opportunity to test out the MagMech, which is probably the most exciting, well, for me, it is the most exciting development with this keyboard. For professional gamers, the fun and this keyboard have a true 0.01 millimeter response and a much less of a dead zone at the beginning. So you can get a much more responsive yeah, I mean, for me, it's probably never going to come into play. But it's worth noting that it's an issue, or could potentially be an issue. Oh, god darn it, I meant to lube those stabs. Well, we'll see. Maybe I don't need to. They're already pretty lubed. Thankfully, they're plate mount, so I mean, if I want or need to lube them, I can just take off those switches, take off these 2 pieces right here, and then everything comes out. It all comes out in the wash. So the Reds should not care about the actual orientation of the switch in the socket. I'm hoping, because there's no north or south on these switches. So no matter how I put them in, they should work. Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that it still doesn't. I mean, it's still going to be, there's still so many factors having to do with the keyboard, I think, that, and the switches themselves. You know, that Keychron, I think, sounds really good, but it doesn't... it has a steel plate, I think. It's definitely aluminum, at least. But, I mean, if you wanted a clacky board, that's why. These are the AEBoards Raeds. R-A-E-D-S. And they are a... I'll show you real quick while I'm putting them in. It's a rubber dome Hall effect switch. So you get the... It's quiet. It's a quiet Hall effect switch with a slight, like a gentle tactile bump. They're really, really nice switches. And welcome, by the way. These are, as far as I know, the second tactile Hall effect switches, but these are the first ones that are Wooting compatible. The other ones are South Pole oriented, and they are the Glorious Panda Hall effect switches, available obviously from Glorious. Which are also tactile. But they're more of a standard tactile feel. So oh. Well, if it becomes important, I'll make the light. I see it now. Look at that. I might change it. On not all of these right now, but I wonder how many of them I did. Hey, thanks for the follow. Well, now I gotta do the rest, at least. Even though I'm on like the second to last row, with this being one of the rows. Let's see if we have exactly as much as I thought I did. Now I'm basing this off of the... I'm basing my numbers. I think you have to use the USB mode to connect the zoom pad to VIA. And then you'll need to get the JSON file for it. At least I did. Once I did that, it connected right up. I don't know if I have the EE though. I had gotten it might be because I got it at the after the fact, so Alright, let's see what we got here. Yep. I had exactly as many as I thought I did. Yay me. There is also a little design in the opposite corner from the TTC. So if some of them do not work, we'll know why and we'll be able to switch them. And then we are going to be using Y3 mechanical switches for the function row. Come here, boys. Time for you to go to where you will live forever. Well, maybe not forever, but certainly until I can get more reds in, which are available at Divinity, who is not a sponsor yet. Maybe someday. I think I have actually an affiliate link for Divinity. If anybody is interested in purchasing reds, I can supply that to you. Yes, there's also a clicky, a raptor. And really, I mean, when I say glorious switches, I'm pretty sure all of the glorious Hall effect switches are Otimu. The GT60 PCB into. So, if you are interested in a silent slightly tactile feel, then these are the switches for you. If you put them in all the way. Yeah. So then let's go ahead and we're going to break out our new keycaps. If you hear weird noises, my cats are yelling at each other. It's about that time of day where they get a little playful. I mean that, like, not weird. Not in a weird way. Not my cats. My cats are the nicest cats. I mean, they're stupid and they do awful things sometimes, but like probably the worst thing one of my cats does is he likes to love things off of. Like he's, oh, I love this. This is mine. This is mine. Oh, fell on the floor. That's about it. Yeah, we'll put that on for now. I've seen them, and y'all are moving here at some point, isn't that right? I had a smart orange tabby female. Actually, I'll have you know. And that is my new working theory, is that all the boy orange cats' brain cells go into the female because they're so rare. All right. Oh, I thought y'all were looking at houses here. It's called Return to 1989 is the name of this set. It's a cherry profile die sub PBT set. Ooh, I didn't measure them with my new caliper. No, it's just graphic. None, you'll see like this and that. It's all just graphic. The inner has some bars on it too. None of it is textured. They are semi-smooth. I did kind of like their look. They are, as of today, maybe through tomorrow, they are that's all I want from here. Hopefully I have what else I want in the last container. Looks like I do. So we want to delete here. We want a control here. Function, Alt, small shift. No. Wait, there we go. All right, wrong one. Great, it's such a fun set. That is the right one of those. This should be right one of these. And then this is my end. This is the end. My friend. Go ahead and put this all away. The side printed shine through keycaps will be given its just desserts, which is to say they will be unceremoniously put into a Ziploc bag where they will go into a box. And this is the keyboard. I think it came out pretty nice looking. And almost exactly the way I envisioned it, which is well, sort of surprising. Let's go ahead and pause the music for a moment. We'll give you a quick sound test. Again, these are the AEBoards Raeds switches, as well as the KeyGeek MZ Studio collab Y3 switches in the function row. So you'll hear that difference when I get to that part where I start doing rows and stuff. So here we go. That's fun. All right, that is sound test. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in, and you can see the almost complete lack of RGB getting through. That's also fun. I am surprised that as much RGB is getting through as is getting through right now, to be honest. Let's go back to there and see if it's... Search for my device. Okay, that's interesting. So it requires an IoT driver. It did not get detected as a virus, so that's always a plus. Go ahead and drop off music while we're doing this. I don't see anything in my system tray except for you. So as of right now, we are getting no input. Even on the switches we know are oriented the correct way. Which I kind of figured might be a thing. But I was also thinking that I would be able to do that. I hope I don't have to reboot. I mean, we could blame the economy. Let's see, what can I do? Let's see, can I get you? Only because. Maybe it needs to be turned on? Okay, let's see here. Oh, you look right there. Hey, you can download the plate file if you want your own specialized plate. Well, this is going to be disappointing if I can't get it to work. Hassle-free. let's try its cable. Maybe it doesn't like my cable. It doesn't like my cable. That's good to know. Where did you go? Now you can plug you. Okay, firmware's good. I wish it told me what each one was. I guess I could look it up. Maybe. I mean, if this works, then... Interesting. Like the fact that it shows the travel as you're pressing it, which I have not seen before. I do not have a wooting to compare it to, but Oh, right. Gotta confirm it. And then... back to layer 1. Why did that? Oh, that was me. I miscayed. Okay. So... I don't know what U means. I guess that means we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. That's really all I needed. Okay. Is there... There, the light you can barely see now does a thing. Isn't that fun? Hey, Klex, what's going on, man? We're just looking at the software for the... apparently, it did not like my cable at all, so it did not use it, and so that sucks. Let's take a look here. I want to see something. Yeah, I'm probably sure it's because of the coil. I mean, it could be a lot of things. Let's try connecting it via USB dongle. Now, according to the little document packet that came with it, it seemed to indicate that there were switches. Switches. Let's take a look. I think down is supposed to be... So the light is not shining through because the we've installed the reds, which are square and have no light diffuser area. We're going to try this. I know, right? Well, it's connected in the thing. However, it is operating it in function layer 1, which means that is not what I want. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the center. We are not connected. We're Still not connected. This cable again. I'm a little disappointed in that. I mean, I don't know about my other cables, but... And yeah. So... it should default to the highest polling rate, I think. Let's see. Oh, okay, I see where I went wrong here. That's dumb. So there's layers, but, and I seem to remember this, the layers are not do not control the actual layers when you use the function, because you use the Fn key. So this, and we're gonna, is there a way to make this transparent? Anyway, this has got to be mute. It only has to be mute because that's where I expect it to be. And then that is... So, worth noting, it's dumb. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That makes more sense now. We don't need any of that stuff. Let's go back to main. Remap. One. That is what I want. Okay. Y'all want me to put in my password, I bet. So y'all can get all that sweet The Adept action. Just kidding. Oh, that's fun. Okay. I mean, this is useful because... Let's just go ahead and set that, guys. Oh, actually, let's just set it to 0. Oh, it lights all the time, damn it. Over Bluetooth, you can go to sleep. Socks. Yep, I don't play those games, so it doesn't really matter that I have this enabled. Because I don't think Rust is really going to care. Yeah, we already did that. I have everything set to J's right now. I might change that depending. I have to go grab all the information of these different switches so I can find out which one most closely resembles the reds. But I don't really see a way to modify the polling rate. I think I've gone through everything. Oh, and I didn't check that. So far, I have not gotten these to actually do anything, I don't think. Let's go back to custom actuation, key test. It is not registering any of my mechanical switches. Right, you can see the simulation. There is no hot swap profiles either. I'm guessing I can log in and set profiles and then reload them when I want. That's kind of a disappointment. But I definitely want to find out why these guys are not working. Now when I hit them, it's doing that. So it sees them. But it works them differently. Interesting. Okay. So that's something that we're going to have to figure out. Yeah, right? Hassle-free. And another interesting thing that is fun to note is that oh no, it's here. I'm like, it doesn't have the glare switches, but it's the windy / glare. So that's these. So these are the switches that come with it. That's these right here. If you didn't have a chance to see it earlier, and you still don't because I've got a window over it. These are the glare switches. They are a solid bottom switch, kind of a medium spring weight, so not too light. They're actually pretty good. They're deeper than Geon RAWs, but actually outside of the case, they don't sound bad. I don't hear any spring ping. It's when you put them into the keyboard, do they sound like garbage? That's interesting. And garbage is a relative term. So, huh. Wonder about that. That is interesting. What are everybody's thoughts so far? Like I said, this is somewhat disappointing because we can't get the actual functionality to work. Let's see if the Discord has anything to say about it. We'll come back to that in a little bit. But for now, let's take a look. By the way, that is... yeah. I mean, it's possible that that's why the switches sound bad. But, I mean, it doesn't... These are the Y3 switches. So they're supposed to sound like this. And this is not really bad at all. I would daily drive that that sound personally, but see, here it's not seeing it, but when I go into calibration, it does. Yeah, the booting software, from what I've seen in videos, looks very slick. But I mean, it lacks this functionality completely. I don't find this software hard to work with. It's missing some things like the polling rate. But I mean, actually remapping keys. I mean, you have this little FN setting that you have to be aware of. A bulk catch can affect the sound. I have, yeah, exactly. Well, I don't have the mod 007HE anymore. I gave it to a friend who wanted to experiment with Hall Effect. The current keyboards I have are my this bad boy, which currently, because I took all the reds out of it for this video, and we'll leave it out while I do some testing on that. This has the Geon RAWs in it. Actually, hold on. Now I'm curious. Of course, it means I got to take out Geon RAWs, which I hate. But those have been pretty broken in, so they come out much easier. So this is the Aqua Glare switches stock in a Wilpatech Salvation with the Geon Venom 60HE keyboard with the Geon copper plate. So I mean, it's a little bit worse than the RAWs that are in here. And that's only on that quick uptake. You can kind of hear the... And I think that once I'm going to lube those with 106G0. And I think once I do that, it's going to get rid of whatever remaining spring ping it's got. Which might actually make them pretty decent. But this, the Geon Venom keyboards, I recommend them highly. I think that they are very very high quality board that is getting a lot of attention from Geon works. So it's getting constant updates. And the online software, while it looks more like a coder's setup as far as the layout and like the visuals of it, it all kind of looks codery. So less frills, but I mean it is fantastic. All right, let's take a look here. No, nobody's responded to me. I guess I shouldn't expect it, but all right. Maybe they have a manual? I definitely need more foam. I mean, that's a given, knowing me. Anyway, we'll come back to that. That's just fun. Speaking of fun, hey, the Fun 60. So I won't be able to effectively well, I mean, this seems to be a lie, apparently. I mean, once I figure this out, and if it doesn't happen on this stream, I will let you know. And that's obviously the whole thing with us is the community. So if you're not a member of the keybaord Discord, I think that there's a way to find out how to get onto that Discord, and but um, keystrokes, it just doesn't have a manual. I wonder if there's something here. Let's see. Nah, it's not going to be in here. All right. Yeah, I'm probably going to reach out to support and see, and then I'll let everybody know. Yeah, and there's also a weird issue with the dead zone on here, to where if you set the dead zone to the lowest setting, which is 0.01, that it ends up increasing the dead zone enormously. So don't do that yet. But I mean, that is something that they're working on, and that's a TMR. It's basically the old civilization, India civilization issue. Is anybody familiar with that? To where if you play the original Civilization, like I had because I'm old, and you were, and India was one of the civilizations, and you made them as happy as they could possibly be, it actually looped back to turn them into nuke happy psychopathic killers, because their happiness level was already so low. So if you did the other things, it turned them into crazy people. So I think that is pretty much this stream. I will post updates on all of my channels, including the Monsgeek channel. They have their own HE channel on their Discord with my updates on why the these are not working. I'm just trying it just to see if it's just me. Right? Now, if I change them... switch settings, F3, F4, turn them into glares. So this should work. Key test. Oh, I gotta calibrate it. See, that's interesting. These don't even fully calibrate. Well, wait a minute. Hold the phone. There's something going on with the keyboard. Let's look at that. And it's the sensor not registering properly. Because theoretically, if I did that, these now work. F4 and F3 now work because they're Hall effect, but they didn't fully come in. Yeah, the F keys, which are currently set with mechanical switches except for F3, F4, which have the original glare switches in it, are not working. And I'm trying to determine that cause. Let's see. Everybody gets to see the ball catch again. Let's take a look on the innards, see what we see. Everything looks like it's seated properly. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So that is in there exactly the way it should be. I don't see any problems with how it's currently mounted. With the foam that's in here, that ball catch just sounds weak. We have to use this cable if you haven't been here. My coiled cable does not seem to work. I mean, if this works, I mean, this is really nice. Wait a second. Oh. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Is this gonna work? I bet it's gonna work. Look at that. Alright, so let's see. F5. Hey, look, it works. All I had to do was set it to not mechanical switches. It's like magic! Not the magic of magnets, though, because they don't have magnets in them, but everything else does. Alright, well, I'm glad I got that figured out-ish. At least enough for us to have it working, and that is awesome. And that is the answer is a keyboard. For those of you who know what I'm talking about. Okay. So that is the keyboard. Does anybody have any questions? I think the only thing I have left to ask, and I'll ask them, is if there is a way to change the polling rate on the keyboard, which could be command controlled. Because there are a couple of system keys on here that might end up controlling that, and it could be in the manual. Maybe it's just in that manual. Let's go back to the manual. Let's go back to the map, Bob. Backlight. Battery check level. Nope. Nope. Apparently not. I don't think there is a way for us to adjust that. I think it's just going to be at its full tilt. And I think that is by their design, even though it's kind of dumb. Is there right? I mean, it seems like a thing that people have asked for, because goodness knows I do not need the draw of 8K polling on my system. You away. Because my ability to play games does not warrant 8K polling on a keyboard. Sad. But yeah. The Hey, what do y'all think of the music, by the way? Is it coming through? Is it obnoxious? That was kind of the goal. I like that. I've been kind of going for a vibe, and I hadn't been able to do the vibe because I've been doing lo-fi music, but kind of doing fantasy music on my YouTube videos, and so I was looking for something a little bit more fantasy for my Twitch, and this is royalty free, so you're good. Right. Bye bye. Yay, that. And then there's this. Let's take a look at that. Don't you like this? I just love. Just quick showing this off before I wrap up the. Yeah, exactly. It is exactly like having a supercar, and then you get in behind the wheel and you start driving it, and you run it immediately into a wall because you don't know how to control a supercar. This, however, is much more my style. Very glowy. Well, this is the other XVX set that I got. This is the let's go ahead and but of all of the translucent keycaps that I have gotten, received, or came with keyboards over the years, these probably are the best sounding for me. So yeah, I just like showing these off because I just got them, and the lighting is pretty cool. I have KeyGeek Oat switches in here, so they're also translucent. And then, just for extra added effect, it does weird things on camera. I can make it glow blue. Yeah. I've not tried the Bloom Glow. I like these because I also like the retro mixed lights kind of colorway. I mean, these are a brighter red, certainly, than those are. But they're based off of the 100, which is a brighter red. But yes, it glows in the dark. It glows blue in the dark, except for the word glow. Each one of the words, I did get them direct from XBX. They were on sale for $20. So these all glow their own individual colors, which are the 3 different colors of the classic glow that are currently available, which I thought was fun. But I mean, it's a shtick. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's already. I mean, that was like a hardcore UV light, and it barely is keeping that blue. But I like the classic glow regardless, because it has a. I kind of like the translucent look with the classic styling, and then toss on these, and then that makes kind of the RGB pop, especially with the Key Geek oat switches. I had milky yellows in here, which were nice, except for the yellow stems were tinting it slightly yellow. So the oat switches have off-white stems, so the whole thing just glows white, and that's cool, and I like it. And they sound good, which is the other thing. It's all about finding the right sound. And I think through tomorrow they are on sale, just like the Return to 1989. Yellow, white. So yeah, that's it. That's the stream. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you have not already followed, please give me a follow. This is actually the last stream before I become an affiliate. This is the last one that I need. The last thing I needed was to stream 8 days in 1 month, and this is that stream. So next time you see me, I'll be an affiliate, whatever that means. I think it means monetization. I don't know. It just was a goal. So, but it's cool. I reached that goal, and so now I'll see what the next goal is. And hopefully, girlfriend willing, I will keep bringing you content for as long as I can hold out. So, thanks for showing up. Again, I appreciate everybody. And I'll see you hopefully in the Discords, or I'm also very frequent on Reddit. And if you have any questions about any of the things that you see, I try to show the cool stuff, and that's really, you know, I mean, within my meager budget, and it gets meagerer all the time, especially with tariffs coming in probably on Tuesday. That is probably going to hinder us somewhat, and hopefully we'll be able to, like I said, bring more content. Oh, actually, next week's stream is going to be super fun. We're going to be looking at the Cat Universe 65% keyboard. It is an AliExpress keyboard that is, yeah, it's just cats. It's cats in space. It's awesome, and I look forward to bringing that to you. It should be here sometime next week. As long as it does show up, then I'll have that next week. And then also coming up, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, is the Petrichor. Should finally be shipping. It has arrived at Canon Keys and they either have just started QC on it or will be starting QC on it hopefully soon. So if that ships, that's great. Yeah, so that's what's coming up, hopefully. Probably some more switches or keycaps or something. Or I will just show off my girlfriend's Tiga, Zoom 75 Tiga, which we can take apart while she's in the other room. She'll never know. Never know. But anyway, thanks again for showing up, and I will see you on the next stream, or I'll see you online. Have a great one. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.